Welcome back to Online Darts, everyone. We've got him finally stretched down here at the Super Series, back where it all started in terms of playing from home. What's it like being here?
It's a lot different than being at home, but I tell you what, it's amazing. It really is. The setup that the guys have got here, it's one of those where you think to yourself, you're walking into an actual stage, with all the crowd. Obviously, the crowd not being here, but until finals night, which tomorrow, hopefully, they're on my side. But no, it's brilliant. What the guys have done here, it's going from playing during COVID to having an actual stage, a setup. It's brilliant. It really is good.
Your game seems to be getting back to somewhere where we saw it in 2020/21. We see the results on the ADC for your accounting average in here. You seem to be getting back to where you believe you should be.
Yeah, I think it knocked me back a bit. When I lost my talk card, it knocked me back a bit. And I think it's the last few months with help from my family, my friends, especially my wife and my mother-in-law and stuff, that are just pushing me to sort of think you can do this. You can get back and you can get that talk card back. Because I went in a good place sort of when I lost my talk card. It was sort of like, am I good enough for this game? And with my friends, family and my wife, my mother-in-law, everyone getting me back there, I'm starting to play some of the good stuff that got me my talk card in the end.
Midway through last year, when you realised that the game is all but up, barring some mathematical miracle, what's those last few months and last few Pro Tours like, knowing that it's all for nothing almost?
It is hard thinking about going into the games thinking that no matter what happens you're going to lose your talk card. It is hard, but you've got to sort of go there and think, I'm going to win the game no matter what. You have to have that attitude. If you don't go into any game going, I'm going to win this game, you might as well not even play. If you're going up there going, I'm going to lose because I've lost my talk card, you might as well give up. So you have that perseverance and going, right, I'm going to go into this game, I'm going to win. And a perfect example was when I beat Michael Smith. I think there was 2 Pro Tours left, something like that. And I beat Michael Smith 6-3. He apparently didn't turn up for the following day, and everyone said to me, what have you done to Michael Smith? I said, well, I beat him. And then the following week, he won the Grand Slam. Week after it, he won Bahrain. Then he won the World Championships. So it's one of those. I think to myself, well, I've spurred Michael on a bit, But no.
For you guys, when you've lost your card, does Q School come at the wrong time? And what I mean is that you're on the downer, things aren't good, and you get thrown straight back in to that environment to try and win it back, when without any prep, obviously you've missed out on the Worlds, so there's been no competitive play. So for you guys, does Q School come at completely the wrong time?
Yeah, it was one of those where all of a sudden it was sort of, I played really well in the qualifiers. I got beat off Richard Burnett. He qualified for the Worlds. I'm sat there as first reserve and nobody pulled out. I think to myself, it's tough to take. But then going straight from that straight into Q School, it's like, it is a bit too quick, but you have to sort of persevere with it and do the preparation to get yourself ready for it. Even if you don't, then you end up where I am now. But it's one of those. But it's brilliant doing what we're doing now.
The interesting bit is Scott Williams has just said something quite interesting. John O'Shea, the same, that when you guys are trying to get your tour card, you're playing all the time. There's so many avenues for you to play in. But when you win that tour card, you almost get strangled because your avenues dry up and you can only play in one system. So do you think that is, look, it's a double-edged sword. Everyone wants to be in the PDC, everyone wants to be playing the best, but also, does it stop your development as well because you can only play in certain things and the time difference between games is often vast if you're not in TV tournaments?
I would suggest so, yeah, because you are tied to the PDC. When you get your talk card, you sign your contract. You've basically signed your rights to play in any other, tournament that is live streamed or anything like that. So you do feel restricted in a way. So when you don't have a tour card, doing the likes of the ADC, the Moto Super Series, anything else that's televised, you're free to do what you want. Yes, it's a thing that everyone wants to be a tour card holder. Everyone wants to be the world number one. Everyone wants to play at the World Championships, and if you have those dreams, you can do it. But if you're restricted slightly, it's like, maybe things need to be a bit more relaxed and say, can we go and play this tournament without, if it's streamed? Yeah, fine. Yeah, go and crack on. As long as it's not going to put the PDC into disrepute, yeah, go and play it, no problem. But it's just a bit too tight.
Well, that brings me on to the next part. Do you think that from 64 to 128, there should be a slightly different contract to allow these players to go and play and carry on their development? Because John O'Shea was speaking on the live lounge that he won't have thrown a competitive dart in a month, because obviously he missed out on the Euro Tours between Pro Tours, and he can't go and redo anything else to get that same competitiveness.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in my belief, I've spoke about it to many players before. If you're 64th to 128 and you are not in contention to be in the top 64, there should be that difference of saying, right, yeah, if you're in the 64 to 128, go and play whatever tournament you want, no problem. If it's going to be live streamed, just ping us an email over, and say, right, can I play on this? It's going to be live streamed. Can I play? Yeah, fine, no problem. Just get permission, no problem. If you're in the top 64, you're obviously still in contention with having sort of that tightness of keeping your tour card, so that it's a bit nitty gritty. But I think from 64 to 128, I think there should be some lenience.
Yeah, because the reason I say that is when you won the Challenge Tour, you were playing on Euro Tours and stuff like that. You were playing all the time. We saw David Evans' name in just about every tournament going because you could, and just being constantly match sharp has to be beneficial for any player.
Absolutely, yeah. If you're constantly playing tournaments week in, week out, it can only be the best thing for you. You're playing ADC competitions, you're playing local league competitions. I know a good friend of mine, Alan Hodgson, he runs a lot of tournaments, a lot of Grand Slams, which you pay your money in, you get guaranteed 5 games, sometimes it's 4 games depending on how many enters, but it's a good match practice, and it really is. And if the opportunity comes for professional darters to be able to play in those, which I believe they can at the moment, but if they start being streamed, then they're not going to be able to play. So I think something needs to change like that, to be fair.
Looking ahead, what's the aspirations for 2023? Is it to try and get it done through the Challenge Tour, or do you think you've got a little bit too much to do after the start, or is it looking at Q School 24 to kickstart Stretch's campaign?
I think it's a bit too much at the moment. I'm on £1,800, 27th in the rankings, I think, something like that. I mean, who can stop Barry Van Peer at the moment? He's 11,500 or something like that. He's playing unbelievable darts. So I look at that and go, is there a potential opportunity to get up there? Yeah, of course there is. There's always that opportunity. Is it a little bit too much? In some people's minds, you might think so, yeah. But if you've got that mentality, you can get up there, then do it. If your results don't go your way, they don't go your way, and then prepare for next year, go to Q School and get a tour card back.
Is that still where you want to be on the tour?
Yeah, absolutely. At the moment, it's one of those, I've always wanted to be a professional dart player. I've done it once, I've got my tour card for 2 years, lost it, unfortunately, but now I'm starting to show something that I can do, and it will be something that I want to do. If I can't, then obviously there's all these other systems that I can carry on doing what I love.
Dave, pleasure as always, mate. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, mate.